Hello.
My name's Michelle, and this is
I'm Tristan. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so today we're just going to talk about Asian stuff.
Oh, mood?
Yes, in
We
an
out here.
undisclosed boba place
At an undisclosed place.
that I'm covering with my hand. It's
I
fine.
don't think I covered it with my hand, but that's
It's
fine. It's fine.
It's okay. Cheers.
What do you have?
I have purple sweet potato, green fresh milk tea with grass jelly and pudding.
Ooh. Grass jelly is like a mood. It's
It's
always
my
so
favorite
good.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
same.
one of my favorite things.
Did you have that grass jelly drink growing up?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was my shit. Like the one in the can?
Yeah, I drink that all the time.
All the
That
time.
and the canned soy milk.
Oh, yeah. That's it, man. Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't had that in years, but I feel like the last time I had it, it was like so sugary, which I love. But I'm like, man, I drank so much of that as a kid. That's probably not healthy.
For real. No, I would always ask that. That was like the only Viet thing that I would know how to say.
Oh my god.
Pseudo nan.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've lost like all of my Vietnamese. But when I went to Vietnam, I could pick it up relatively easily.
Wait, when did you go to Vietnam?
I went to Vietnam in March.
In March? Wait, really?
Yeah, at the end of March.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because my friend is teaching English there, and then I had a place to stay, and it was like for my birthday, so I was just like, I want to go somewhere, and she was like, you should come here, and the tickets were
wow.
super cheap because it's off season.
Yeah.
So then I was like,
yeah,
here we go.
let's go. Wow.
It was a round trip ticket from here to Vietnam and back for $600.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you take? Okay, I need to know this. This is essential.
So it was at the end of March. So I think I flew there. I think it was Korean Airlines.
Korean Airlines. Okay. Off
Funny
season,
enough.
probably like yeah.
Yeah, it was Korean Airlines, and then we had a layover in Japan.
Ooh, did
And
you stop in
then-
Japan?
It was only for a couple hours, so I couldn't like leave and come back. I do want to do that one day though. I've never done like a layover where you can explore.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I love Japan. I have never been to Japan.
I've never been there either. Okay, so when you get your cert, and then we'll meet each other in Vietnam.
Yes,
we can
we
go
will.
traveling.
Oh
Japan.
yes. Oh my god, please. Okay. I've actually been debating when I would want to go to Vietnam. Just cuz like I'm like searching for myself, but I'm also kind of like in this mood of like I want to find stability like here and then be able to move because what's it called? I'm like trying to build up experience at the job that I have so that when I come back to the United States, I can have something to lean back on for experience.
Yeah. What's your current job?
I'm a paralegal.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right. So then I was like, like a year's worth of experience, it'll be my year in February. So then that'll probably be around the time when I start really thinking about whether or not I want to go to Vietnam in 2020. Like this election. Like I was
Literally,
I was like,
that was
I'm-
my plan. I was like,
Hey,
I'm not staying for this.
I'm not.
It's
yeah.
been a wild 4 years.
It's a messy. It's been.
Oh my gosh,
messy.
it's been really messy.
So I
Yeah.
kind of feel that I'm in like, all right, I'm gonna save $10,000 by November 2020, and that's like my goal.
Dude, I'm like nowhere near that. But that's part of the reason why I'm moving to Vietnam is because there's more opportunity there. Because like right now I'm a dance coach / teacher, and teachers are like a thankless job, and you don't really get paid that much. But I love it. But
Yeah.
it's not really gonna pay the bills long term. And in Vietnam, because the cost of spending or like the cost of living and spending is so little, you can save up a lot
Yeah,
quicker. Well, not
for
necessarily
real.
quicker, but more.
And being American, like you get a lot more money too.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and I'm already gonna like build up my experience for being a teacher, like this year when I'm teaching, because it's literally gonna be like it's perfect. Because my lease is up in March. I'm gonna see if they can let me go month to month until the summer. They probably will, because I'm in like a college area.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stay here for like the school year, like the literal school year, and then apply to go, and then I'll be
Okay.
like, I've been a teacher for a year and then
Okay.
some, and I've
Yeah.
taught in different forms, but not necessarily English. So my plan is to also go by like summer 2020.
Okay, cool. Wow, that is a good plan. I like mine.
Exactly,
Good one.
exactly.
Yes.
Oh, before I forget, what are your placements?
Placements?
Yeah, like I'm an Aries Sun with Pisces Moon and Leo Rising.
I've actually never been asked that before. That's really,
Really?
cool. Yeah, but I do know it. So my placements are, I'm a Cancer Sun,
Okay,
I'm a Sagittarius Moon, and an Libra Rising.
love it. Love it.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. And you are full-on Vietnamese.
I am full in Vietnamese.
Cool. I'm half Chinese.
Oh, you have Chinese? So
Yeah.
then, did you ever learn Chinese, or did you just learn?
No, I knew. I was gonna say I knew English. I knew Vietnamese growing up, and I was very fluent in it. That's because I grew up with like a nanny.
Oh.
But then eventually, and she was always home, and we spoke Vietnamese together. But then I got old, and then she got old.
Yeah, true.
And then, and then I started going to school, and you don't use it, you lose it, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
right, exactly.
And then my parents and I, we always had like bilingual conversations. So like on the outside looking in, it looked really cool because like they would speak to me in Vietnamese, and I would
then-
speak back in English.
Yeah.
But to them, it was like really ignorant, and it was,
Yeah, true.
And so that's another thing. I'm really trying to reconnect myself to like the actual language.
Right.
Because I forgot what this YouTuber was, but he does videos on like Vietnamese people all around the world.
Oh,
And then
that's so cool.
I know, I forgot his name. I'll send it to you once I figure it out though.
Okay, please.
But he went to central Vietnam.
Okay.
And then there was it was funny. This episode, he was interviewing a white girl, but she lived in central Vietnam.
Oh.
And she was like very, very fluent in Vietnamese. It was like way better than I am. And so I was like, damn, I need to step it up.
Yo, actually, same.
Like for real. And then she starts singing, and that was like a moment for me because I think his name was Ken, the dude who like does the interviews, but he was saying how Vietnamese sounds better when you sing it because it's a tonal language than when you speak it. And I was like holy
Yo.
crap. It's so true because when you sing it, it does sound a lot better, and you can like hit the notes a lot better, but when you speak it, it sounds like, rough.
Yeah, that's probably why, like, when I speak Vietnamese, I sound like shit.
Same. Oh my gosh, that's why I'm so conscious, dude. So when I went to Vietnam, they're still very much like a face-to-face kind of culture. So they have this thing called Grab, which is their equivalent of like Uber. So so they have an app called Grab, and then you can request a bike. So I requested a bike, and you know how they have certain like pickup points when it comes to like big venues. So he was supposed to meet me at this one gate, but he was at this other gate, and then I like couldn't communicate that to him, and then I eventually like ordered another one. I ghosted him. I felt so bad because I didn't know how to say I'm not at the right gate. I was just like, oh my god. And he kept calling me, and I was just like, that is so strange. But my friend was like, yeah, even though it's like on an app, and you're like, obviously I ordered you to like come here, and like at this time, like they'll still call you and make sure that you're like, hey, like did you place this order, or like did you request this Grab? And I'm just like, it was very like, that was a culture shock to me because here we're so like antisocial and very like closed off to each other.
Right.
But there it's still very like, oh, like you're a person, let me make sure, even though we're using this electronic app, like.
Yeah, it's like that language barrier.
Yeah.
Deep.
And then I thought about it, and I was just like on the other bike when I ghosted the first guy. I was riding, and then my helmet was like, because they give you a helmet, but like a bunch of people wear it, so it was like really loose and I couldn't get it, so I was just like whatever. And then, but of course, when you're on the road and you're like speeding, it's gonna like fly off. So it almost flew off.
No.
And I was like trying to like do this, and I couldn't. I was like panicking. I was like, I didn't know how to tell him to like, wait, my helmet's falling off. But then in the moment, I was just like, it was so bad. I was like, I would rather like, knock on wood, but I would rather like get into an accident right now than like have to communicate because I felt so like ashamed that I couldn't communicate. I was like, I'll just get into a car accident, it's fine.
That's so sad.
And then also I can afford the healthcare there. Speaking of healthcare, I got this tooth done.
You did?
Yeah.
I actually have a tooth done right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In Vietnam
Hey.
though.
Oh, in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Wow, it looks good.
Thanks, right? It was $400.
Wow. Oh my god.
It was like, and this is a crown too, so it's like one of those like.
Wow. This crown was like, you know how crowns are cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I purposefully booked my dental appointment for like an international clinic when I was going because I knew it was going to be cheaper.
True.
And I knew that this tooth was like getting fucked soon, so.
Yeah, we all know those Dr. Wins. I was thinking about that on my ride here. I was like, I'm driving here, and like I saw like one of those parking, like those kiss and rides.
Yeah.
Where like people like commute together and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if that costs money to like park there. If it doesn't, that'd be like wild because everything costs money here. Everything costs money in the United States. And I'm like,
Literally everything.
yeah.
And it's not even like, a lot of it's not even high quality stuff either.
Yeah, seriously, I'm like, it's like imported, like exported shit. I'm like, okay.
Oh my god, and now it's gonna get even more expensive because of the tariffs.
Oh yeah,
China.
the fucking trade war. Shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing. I'm just
Whole
like,
nother
I
thing.
don't know. Oh, and China said that they were going to stop taking our garbage.
No.
So, like, if people don't learn how to recycle real soon,
Yo,
like,
well,
we're fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I.
it's going to be Wall-E.
Oh yeah,
Did you ever
Wall-E.
see that movie?
Ooh yeah, I want to be Wall-E. I want to meet my robotic soulmate.
I've met plenty of those. The thing about Vietnam that I was like really, really amazed by was like every moment asked you to be really present. Because here, you know, when you're driving, you have to like, you know, there's like someone's texting you and like there's
yeah.
music and there's AC. And you have
yeah.
to like, but there it's just like you're on this bike and you have to pay attention, otherwise you'll crash. Because it's
yeah.
like, you know, they're all mopeds and like motorbikes. And so it was really awesome because everyone just had like this flow and you could just feel it. It was just like everyone knew. They just knew what to do. They knew what to look out for. And even the dogs, like there would be dogs riding on the back of the motorbikes, like without any like.
Dodge.
But yeah, they didn't have any like seatbelts or like dog carriers. They were just like chilling and like they were completely balanced. I was like, yo, even the dogs are vibing.
Wow, yeah, for real. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cute. I love dogs. I want a dog within the next 5 years. Be able to get one in Vietnam.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know.
How long are you trying to stay there?
So my original goal was 2 years.
Okay.
And then my second, like, and then later I was like, maybe I can do a year. I don't know. Mostly, like, I want to go to Vietnam for, like, spiritual, like, healing
Oh, yes.
and stuff. And
Yes.
just, like, being somewhere else, like, finding who I am, really knowing what that means.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this weekend, I actually kind of experienced that. I took a hit of this really, really, like, like dank weed. Like, and I was like, damn, like, is dance life? Is
Yes.
work life? Is Mavsa life? Is video games life? So then I was like, what is my life without all the things that I actually do? And I'm like, who am I when I don't do all the things that I'm like constantly bothered and like busy doing? So I've been like, is this that weekend? Am I going to Vietnam next week? I don't know. So then yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. But yeah, I would also want to like learn the language. I love
Yeah.
languages and
Yeah.
like just being in a different place. I love traveling too.
Yeah.
So like traveling's like dope. And I want to dance there. I want to dance in Vietnam.
Oh yes. Yeah, I took a dance class there too. It was,
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh shit.
It was so fun. It was really wild. Like I think my favorite part was, I mean, now that there's a huge expat community in Vietnam, I got to meet a lot of people from all over the world. But it was wild because it was
I didn't
like,
know it was expat community.
oh yeah, oh dude, that's
Oh my
why
God.
that's why I'm trying to go because they want more expats to come because they have all these high-rise buildings that are empty because people can't afford to live in them. So they need the expats to come in and like boost the economy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the only downside is that there's like it perpetuates a huge class divide, but the huge
Oh.
class divide was always there. But
Damn. Rip.
I know.
Damn, Rip. What?
I know. But full circle, right? Because our parents came here for a better life. Now we're going back.
No,
For a better life.
yeah. Full circle. Yeah.
So, you know, whatever. But
True.
yeah, it was wild because I met like this Vietnamese girl from Germany, this one guy from England, a couple of people from Australia, and it was just kind of like we're all from all over the world, but our Vietnamese heritage brought us here to the same
Wow.
place at the same time. And I was like, this is
Wow.
fucking magical. Like,
That is magical.
yeah.
Like, shit. Let me
Yeah.
hit my blunt. That's magical.
I know. And this is the I forgot what building it was, but this is the
I want to live in that building.
I think it's a business building,
Oh.
but it's actually designed after the lotus
Work
bud.
is life.
Because you know how like Vietnam's symbol is like the lotus,
Mm-hmm.
but this was designed after the lotus bud, so it's kind of like a renewal of the city and a symbolism of like the renewal of like the Vietnamese spirit.
That's hot. Is it easy to walk around?
No, I mean yeah, but it's better if you grab because like a lot of, well, it depends where you're at, right? Because my friend lived in District 4, I believe, or District 7, I don't remember.
Oh, it's
Um,
districted? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then District 1 is like where the main hub is. And so if you're in District 1, then like, yeah, you can walk anywhere. But if you're out, like in the outskirts, then you have to grab somewhere. But it's really accessible.
Okay,
and
cool.
because everything's on a motorbike, it's like super quick. Like it's not like taking an Uber where you have to like, you know, there's a stoplight and there's another stoplight. It's like you just get there. Like it's from A to B with no lights. And you know how you saw a video, like everyone was just like weaving. So it was like
Yeah.
you just get there really, really fast.
Wow. Just like looking at that just makes me like want to go somewhere.
I know. This is me like manifesting in my subconscious. Like I'm gonna live here. I'm gonna live here.
You're gonna, oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh. How long would you want to live there for?
I want to live there for like at least a year. I maybe 2, but I've also really like grown to love my undisclosed city. So like I do want to live there, but I obviously would come back and like, you know, give back to this community. But same as you, like I really just want to go to Saigon to have like a spiritual awakening and like really find myself and reconnect myself to the culture, because I was always really disconnected from the culture. I was like definitely one of those like self-hating Asians for a while.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. And it was like, and it really sucks, but like a part of me like wanted to forget Vietnamese because I didn't like, you know, like speaking Vietnamese was like not American or whatever. And so I was like, oh, well then I'll just speak English all the time.
No,
and so
right,
it's like,
yeah.
so it's like I definitely purposely pushed a lot of it out, which I'm not just like, God damn it, pass Michelle.
No. No, but like I totally 100% like relate to that. I was thinking about it the other day too. As a kid, I remember being like, no, I don't want to learn Vietnamese. Like, I don't want to, like, I learn English. Like, why do I need to learn Vietnamese? And, like, I just remember I was, like, 3 years old or something like that. I can't believe I was just
that's young.
3 years old being
Yeah.
able to say that. Like, just say that, like, kind of stuff. But it was just because there's so many things that are already in English. Like, the TV, like, the TV, all the kids in the school and stuff like that. I mean, like the
Yeah.
kids in the school when I was 5, but like,
Yeah.
still, it just reinforced it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm like, God damn it, Tristan, like, why did you have to do that? But also, it's like, we're raised in the United States, so then it's like, we can't help it.
I
Like,
know. And this was back in the 90s when things weren't as PC.
Yeah, things weren't on SPC, and like, you know, you probably get made fun of, or like
Oh, yeah.
for not being able to speak English. Like, I'm sure my parents were made fun of for not being able to speak English.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't want to teach me Vietnamese. Like,
Oh, yeah. My parents were definitely like trying to pound in my head.
oh, really?
But then, you know, like I said, I grew up with a nanny and I was always speaking Vietnamese, and so it was great for a while. But then when I started going to school, they stuck me ESOL because I didn't speak fluent English. But then I think that was definitely like the kickoff to like, oh, like I'm not normal, I'm not this, I'm not that. I have to like try to fit in with everyone else. And I went to a relatively like white elementary school. It was in a very diverse area, but it didn't get diverse until like high school.
Wait, that's so funny. I was put into ESOL, but I spoke English very perfectly.
That's bullshit.
I literally, like, they were like, you. And I'm like, me? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I go in, and they're like talking to me a little bit, kind of speaking like really slowly, and I'm like, and they're like, say the sentence, and I'm like, and then I was like, okay. So then I said the sentence, and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I can read all of this. Like, why am I here? Like,
Oh my God,
I don't
that's
understand this. And they're
awful.
like, so then they stepped out for a second. They're like, okay, you can return to the classroom. And I'm like, I think you just profiled me.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, how old were you?
I was in 2nd grade. I had just moved
my
to another
gosh.
elementary school because like from another district and stuff. So then I was like, yeah, that was wild.
That's rough. What was the demographic of that school mostly?
There was actually a lot of people of color, like a
Okay.
lot of kids of color. There were a couple of white people. Like, it was very easy to mesh myself within like the community of color there. That's actually kind of where I feel a lot of community, like most of my life, like knowing that there's like POC people.
Yeah.
And like that's why I kind of hang out with a lot of POC today. But when I went to middle school and high school, oh my gosh, like that was like, they were all white people, and I was just like, and like around middle school, high school is when you start growing up, you know, like you start like going through puberty, and you're like, who do I like masturbation and like porn. So then it's like being surrounded by white people, it was just like kind of reinforcing my own like self-hatred and like not being able to like connect with the people or like feel like I like all these other things and stuff like that. Like I just didn't feel like I had a community at all.
Yeah, same.
Stuff like
I
that.
literally not just started, but like within the past like maybe 3 or 4 years. Sadly, it was like after college. But when I really started connecting more or like really seeing the community within groups of POC. And so it was kind of like a rude awakening where I was like, I've been doing this wrong my whole life. I've been trying to fit in with the wrong group of people my whole life.
Right.
And people who like
Really.
never ever even like considered me. So now I'm just like, oh, what? Like,
Right.
I
Oh my
wasted
God,
all this
literally, yeah.
time. Yeah, so I'm just like, I feel like throwing myself into Vietnam would just be like a reset button.
Yeah.
Just like forget everything that you learned about like all the programming that I had about like negative self-talk and like how I viewed myself in comparison to other people, which is like the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, for
especially
real.
when it's like comparing yourself to a group that is like not even like it's just too different. It's like
Yeah, it's so
there's
different.
no comparison.
Like they get so much attention on like the TV and like in general life. Like I feel like media really affected my way of thinking about like my identity, especially just because like I would see only white people.
Yes.
And but Asian people have been around since like the 1800s.
Forever.
Like since fucking forever. But like, how are we still like minorities or like still not recognized? Why do people still think we don't speak English? Like, I'm so confused. Like, we've been here for years.
Now that you mention it, that was actually one of the reasons I also started hating myself was because when I was younger, I wanted to be like an actress or a singer or whatever. And my mom literally, which I think this was like a generational karma thing too, because she wanted to be a singer when she was growing up, and her dad didn't let her, and so she kind of like projected that onto me. But she also said like she literally said this. She was like, people don't want to see Asian people on TV. Like, you're never gonna make it. And I was like, okay, then I guess I won't make it. And so like,
Damn, what?
yeah, and then now, like, that Asian representation is like a thing. I'm just like, I could have been ahead of the game. But, it's not too late, I guess.
I mean, also, when I first saw Crazy Rich Asians being like one of the big movies and stuff, I feel like, yeah, it was an all Asian cast. But what like really threw me off was how they had an accent. Like, so it was like
Yes,
still a
let's talk
foreign
about this.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
It was like people in the United States already romanticize the idea of like foreign people. Foreign people as in like Australians.
Yeah.
Or
English.
English people.
Yeah.
Or European people.
Yeah.
Not really ever like, ooh, the foreign Asian. Ooh,
Yeah.
the foreign African. Ooh, the foreign South American. Well, I mean, sometimes it's foreign South American. If they look white, literally, like,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, that really threw me off too. And it's like, I don't know, it was just kind of like, oh, so Asian people are acceptable only when they seem kind of white.
say it. Yeah, say it.
But then that's a really rough line to tread, because then you don't want to ostracize the Asian people who experience, being like biracial and not being Asian enough, right? So at what point do you claim representation, and what point do you claim like being whitewashed? But then it's just like, if that person is half white and half Asian, then like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's rough. But it is a form of whitewashing.
Yeah, it's like,
Cringe.
yeah, cringe. Damn, there's so much I want to say about that. Because like,
Say it all.
say it all. It's weird. Even if we're like, it's so weird how like, not a lot of the society recognizes how much like whitewashing is done to people. So then it's like when we are actually like what white people want us to be like be able to speak English correctly, or like be like immersed with the white community, or like be like who they want us to be. Like, it's still not enough. Model minority. Okay, wait. I want to unpack that too, because like, oh my god. But
So
so much to talk about. But like, it's just like we're still not enough. We're never enough. It's just, but like, that's like the racist part of our society that we are not recognizing. Like, we are still Asian, like, regardless, and that's why like I've been on this track. I don't know if you can like relate to this too, but I've been on this track because I realized like no matter how well I speak English, or like how well I get along with white people, it's like I just feel like I'll always be Asian in their eyes anyways.
yeah.
I'm always be Asian in their eyes. I might as well just like keep being Asian and like embracing that part of myself, rather than like continuing to let them make me feel bad or let myself feel bad.
Yes.
Just like continue to like love myself.
Yes.
Self-love is like a big theme, like when it comes to like loving my identity and shit,
Yeah, for sure. And it's like that's a huge part for me too. It's like just saying like, well, if you're gonna dislike me anyway,
Yeah.
or if you're gonna judge me anyway, then like let me break out my fucking chopsticks.
Yeah, let me
Eat
break
my-
out my fucking anime, like ooh as fuck. Like
Yeah,
let's stay, we stay ooh.
That's another thing too, because it's like I run a tarot and astrology business or a channel or whatever, and so if I'm gonna be able to like preach self-love, then I need to feel that. And so a huge part of me being able to run this channel is to like discover that within myself. So it's like
Yeah.
an ongoing thing.
I
It's
love
like
that.
I heal, you heal, we all
Yes,
heal.
we heal. We stay healing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you watch? What was that Ali Wong movie?
Oh
with
my
Randall
god.
Pack.
Wait, I know you're. Wait. Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
Always Be My Maybe.
Always be my maybe.
That one.
That was so cute, and I love Ali Wong.
know.
I love Ali Wong so much.
That was definitely way more relatable because like I was always that kid who like went to other friends' houses for like dinner and stuff because my parents were never home, and I was just like, dude, this is like relatable right off the bat. Whereas Crazy Rich Asians was more like a fantastical type of movie where it's like, wow, like
Yeah, fantastical, super rich, like kind of
Yeah.
life. Like I didn't relate to that. I'm not rich. Like,
Yeah, right?
Who is that? I
Yeah.
don't know him.
yeah, right. And I'm just like, even though it was in Asia, it was still like, you know, I have never been to Singapore. Like, I probably won't because it looks really expensive to
Yeah.
travel there. But yeah, it was just like humanizing Asian people still, because I feel like Crazy Rich Asians still didn't really make it human. It was like a
Right.
fantasy, like
Right.
you know.
100%.
I don't know. I feel like all of the Asian representation media kind of just like exploded out of nowhere. And then there was that other, like, To All the Boys I Loved Before or something.
Oh yeah,
like,
that one.
had-
I don't know how I feel about that movie.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like the representation. I feel like it was just so. It was so like token girl
I know.
in like small town, like falls in love with a white boy kind
I
of
know.
mood, and I'm like.
But you know
you see
what?
that all the time. Like Asian girls like fall for white men, but white
I know.
women don't
Oh,
always
dude,
fall
guilty.
for them. But hey, it's okay. I'm dating a white man. That's
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, for real. Like, do you ever see like the Asian man get the white woman? You see that on occasion, but you're like, oh, what's up? You
Yeah.
know?
Right,
Wow,
it's so
much-
complicated.
It's complicated. Yeah.
It's so complicated.
It's like,
You know why? Because Asian people we're like the largest population in the world.
Yeah.
So like, how do you represent all different Asians? You can't.
you can't.
But that's what Hollywood's trying to do because they're trying to box us in. That's the whole problem.
Yeah,
Ah.
literally. I don't know what to do though. That's like makes me sad. I want to do something about it. Like I feel like this podcast is like one thing you can do. Just like throwing your representation out there, being yourself and like doing your thing.
No, we only have so much time.
There's only so much time and like so much that we should cover like from the surface.
Yes.
Surface on the surface. So much we need to cover on the surface.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just so complicated. But yeah, I mean, like you said, like this podcast or whatever this is called, like I am trying to get more representation out there and also just like exposing myself too, because up until a couple months ago, I like didn't show my face on this channel. I didn't show my face on my Instagram, but I wanted to. Like my logo is a cartoon version of my face, so I was like slowly getting there, but I didn't feel completely comfortable being vulnerable, and it definitely stems from like the lack of representation. The fact that my mom told me when I was like 5 that people don't want to see Asian people, and so it was just like I really had.
That really stuck with you.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. And also, you know, there's only gonna be more Asian movies coming out, so auditions, hit me up. As long as we're talking about movies and auditions. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Did you ever watch that? The cartoon.
Oh my god. Yes, I did.
Netflix is coming out with a live action, and Brian, I forgot his last name, but Brian, like the guy who worked on the actual cartoon, is going to have a hand in this project.
Good.
I think he's going to be the actual director.
Good. M. Night Shyamalan did not do
Oh
justice.
my god! Oh my god!
I also want to talk about like different cultures, like how they made Zuko not Asian, but he made him like brown.
Middle Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, that's like some mad like what is it called? What? It's like
Yes, I know what you're.
subliminal messaging.
Yes.
I think it's like subliminal messaging that really affected me when I see someone with like a head mask or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what they're called. I want
Like
to
a
say like
turban.
hijab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all different types of.
Yeah, different types. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know the culture. That's another thing. I don't know the
I
culture,
know.
but I know so much about like French architecture.
I know.
Like okay, Napoleon. Like yeah, it's just messes me up. Really messes me up.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh. You know what really messes me up nowadays? Kind of like shifting gears, but not really.
got it.
The whole trendy spirituality era that's happening right now.
It is kind of trendy and like happening right now.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, like, Gwyneth Paltrow, let's just say.
Wait, say again?
Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress,
Gwyneth Paltrow,
she
okay.
has like this holistic healing website community type thing where she has like a website and she's like, use this crystal for this and use that for that. And I'm just like, you know, colored people have been doing this forever and
Yeah.
we've been like literally crucified for it because it wasn't Christian enough.
Oh,
And now everyone is all of a sudden like, I'm so spiritual, namaste. And I'm just like,
namaste.
what do you mean? Like,
What do you mean?
so it's just kind of, it's really frustrating, but it's also like you can't tell people not be spiritual, right? Because the whole
Right.
point is you want to, you know, be welcoming, you want to be loving, but when it's like an Instagram pic versus like an actual living practice, it's just kind of painful to watch because it's just like you're really diluting this into something that's not
Yeah.
wholesome.
Like someone with minimal knowledge turns it into something that they profit off of.
Yes.
Like, whether it's like clout or like, I don't know, like something.
or literal like just product.
Or product or money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Others aren't working within the culture. They're
Yeah.
they're just kind of like, oh, like it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to like do this, but then you're not like looking at the cultural practices, the
Right.
spiritual practices that go along with it. And so you're just kind of taking this title of like a very sacred position and turning it into like something that you can be certified in. And the same thing with tarot certifications. What is that even? Because tarot is about your intuition. How can you allow someone else external of you to tell you that you have reached your peak of intuitive practices? It's like, it's intuitive. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to be the one to do it. And so when you certify spiritual, like when you like monetize spiritual practices, it's like, it's no longer spiritual because now you've made it dirty
Yeah.
with your money.
Oh. That's some shit. Okay, wow. There's so much to say about that. Like, you hit like community, you hit capitalism, and you hit like the whole like nature of like a foundation and a discipline, and like spirituality and shit.
Spirituality is supposed to be free, folks.
Yeah. Yo. Yeah. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to love yourself for free.
Exactly. Don't ever pay someone else to love yourself. Unless it's a therapist, because that's different.
Okay, true. You're right. You're right. There's so much to talk about because everything is like intertwined and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's important to have these conversations because you can't always intertwine everything yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too for being here. Now, question for you.
Yes.
Did you ever feel unaccepted in the Asian community? Or felt kind of like an outsider in the Asian community?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. Actually, yes, in high school. So like I hung out with Asian people like in elementary school and stuff. But when I moved, like it was completely different. I think it was also because like I gave off the impression that I didn't want to hang out with Asian people or something. I was like only into like white people. But then like when I started getting into high school, I was like, you know what? Like I fuck with my Asian people. Like I love like loving myself. Like I love talking about chopsticks. I love saying things in another language. And like that was when I started really loving to learn different languages too.
Yeah.
So then, like, when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn Vietnamese. Like, this is it. Still haven't learned Vietnamese, like, yet. But, I mean, my grandma's teaching me. But what was happening was that, like, there was this group of Asian people who Okay, wait. So I went to 2 high schools. So I went to...
High school number 1.
High school number 1 and high school number 2. They were in different places, but, like, very close to each other. They were, like, 10 miles apart.
Okay.
So then people knew each other from both schools. So then I went to high school number 1. Coming out, it was like my middle school was the feeder school into it. So then I knew like the Asian people. I actually still talk to a lot of the Asian people I went to school with there.
You do or you don't?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, which is cool, actually.
That's awesome.
But I
That's
think
how you know it's real.
Yeah, that's how I know it's real for real. Like, they're living their lives, and like oh my god, wow, I have so much to say. I love them. I love you if you're watching this. High school number 1.
Oh yeah.
High school number 2, I wasn't close to the Asian community. I was very like, I felt really outcast. I think it was like in a time of my life that like I didn't know how to make friends. Again, like I just had to keep making friends like all the time because I moved so many schools. Like
Yeah.
went to 2 elementary schools, went to 1 middle school, went to 2 high schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you like a military kid?
No. Just very poor and needing to move to different places that have a lot.
Oh,
of
that's
that
real.
process. Yeah.
That's real.
So then, what happened? Oh yeah. So then in the second high school, I think it was just because like I was really new to the school and like people didn't know really how to react to me, and I I came off really strongly. I would like kind of introduce myself like right off the bat because I wasn't surrounded by like Asian people all the time in my classes. Like, I really only had like a few Asian friends, and I'm pretty sure they had crushes on me.
Aw.
So it was like, I mean, yeah, but like also like having a crush on someone really disconnects them from like the platonic side versus the romantic
That's
side.
true.
So I feel like I didn't really have any friends.
Aw. Yeah.
Not to call you out if you see this,
But hey, it's
but like
your truth.
it's just it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of got disconnected from them because also I got into a fight with one of them.
No.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, yeah,
life.
it's life.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. I feel like I'm accepted as an Asian person, but I think it's me being a person that they don't accept. Like,
That is a fucking move.
like I'm fucking weird.
I love it.
And
I love it.
say weird shit.
I love it.
And yeah,
I'm
you know,
fucking weird too.
Yeah, right. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like, see, we stand.
Yeah.
We out here.
That's why we connect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So then, yeah, that's like where I'm at. I think that there were times in my life when I thought that I was being rejected, but I think it was just like I didn't realize it was me that was getting rejected, not for being Asian. But I mean, of course, like in different like communities, I was rejected for being Asian, and different people.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I think that what really helped me with connecting to communities is like how much I strive to like want to get to know somebody and like get to and like have like a positive like vibe when it comes to like being like, yo, what's up? Like, how are you? What's your name? I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you.
You do that. That's what you did to me. That's
No, yeah.
I was like, oh, this guy seems awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean you're like Wow.
Yeah. That's,
what a time.
That's relatable though, because same as you. I think I always assumed it was like racism, which it is in some cases.
In some cases, yeah.
For
It's
sure.
like-
But then when I did get more involved in like Asian groups and Asian communities, it really started allowing me to see myself as, like you said, a person and not just like an Asian person. I'm like, oh man, like there are some things that I need to work on because now it's like my group is also not accepting me, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, maybe it is me.
Oh.
And so it was just like half of it was still me trying to work through my self-hate, like, oh, like I'm just not this enough, I'm not this. But then once I came to terms with that, and then I was like, oh, I need to work on this quality and not be like this way and don't do these things. It was just it was a well-rounded experience.
I imagine.
Yeah. But it's really good because it's like I feel like I've grown as a person, and like the more I accept who I am as a person, I can also step into my role as an Asian person
Yeah.
and help others.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's that duality of just like, well, not even a duality, that's not the right word for it, but it's like an onion, right?
Onion.
So it's like there's like the core of who I am, like my person. I'm a person despite all the labels on the inside. And
It's
then there's
the
like
most rich part.
exactly. And then there's like my Asian person part, and then there's my Asian woman person part. So it's just like there's all these layers, and I can help all these different groups, but I have to be whole as a person on the inside.
100%. I
Yes.
agree with that because like I'm definitely trying to like work on the holistic side of myself, like
Yeah.
like recognizing that I'm not just Tristan. I'm Tristan who's Asian, who dances, who is a part of a bunch of organizations, who is queer, who is having this conversation with Michelle. All these other identities.
Yeah.
All 6.
All 6 of me,
All 6.
and all the other ones I haven't met yet.
All the other ones I haven't met yet.
That was another thing I wanted to ask. Growing up as a queer person in the Asian community, because at least in my family, that is not accepted. So I'm curious how it was growing up for you, being queer and Asian.
Oh, that's like interesting. So like, okay, I feel like I have a very unique perspective just because like I I had a mom who, for lack of a better term, is a bitch. I mean, like, she's a bitch, like, she's a bad bitch. I mean, like, she was really kind, she's, like, very loyal, like, she had queer friends, and, like, that was, like, cool and stuff like that. And, like, my dad was cool with it, like, when I came out to him, he was like, whatever, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, I guess, cool. I was ready to fight him. Like, I was ready to fight anyone who, like, hated me for how I identify.
That's commendable, though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just kind of, like, retract. Whereas
Yeah.
you were like, no, this is who I am.
Yeah, this is who I am. Like, fuck with me, you know? Like, I mean, I was really definitely that kind of person. Like, I was very retracted from that. And, like, it was around, like, middle, like, when I was transferring high schools was when I, like, started loving myself and loving that part of my identity. Because I was like, I'm at a new school, I might as well just, like, embrace it. Like, that's when I met one of my queer best friends. Like, I love him so much. He's black and queer. He's
Okay.
black and gay, actually. I'm bi.
Okay.
And, like, it was a big part of my growing process as a queer person to have a queer friend, because not a lot of queer people like to have friends with each other, because there's like this whole sexual thing and stuff like that,
Okay.
like sexual, like thing. I don't know how it's called, but like it's very sexual in the community, and that kind of keeps you from like being friends with people. But also, it's like being queer is very sexualized too, like
Yeah.
within like modern society as well, because like whenever someone thinks of gay people, they think of gay sex, and it's like man on man. Oh, suddenly, but no, it's not even like it. Like people don't even recognize like the part that's like yes, like it's like a relationship between a man and a man, like or a woman and a woman, or someone who's non-binary and a non-binary, or like one and the other, or like the other one. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, trans people like recognize we love trans people. And so then it's like growing up. I feel like I still haven't told all my family. My cousins are super cool with it. I think it's because they grew up in the United States where it's like somewhat more accepting. It really is like it depends on where you grow up. Like
Yeah,
in
it
the United
really
States,
is.
like sometimes it can be like really, really dangerous.
Oh,
Other
for
times,
sure.
like I feel like in our area it's less dangerous. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't want to say people mind their own business here because people don't.
Yeah.
I think it's more that like people are like, I'm gonna feel awkward about this for like 10 minutes and not approach you about it. But if I do approach you about it, I'm gonna be really aggressive about it. Like
It's like
you know,
overcompensating.
yeah, literally like one of the biggest things I want to say is like, okay, I think I've grown to understand this, but like I think I am an attractive queer person. I don't want to say, I don't know. I think that's how it is, like, and that's like, I feel like that attractiveness is what like generally like made me feel more accepted. No, made me be more accepted because like I was conventionally attractive or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like suddenly people were like, oh, like you're into men and women, like that's cool. Like I mean like it's not like just men and women. Ugh.
Yeah, it's
And then
labelless.
What I say is not men and women. Bisexual doesn't only mean men and women. It means like more than two or more genders.
Yeah.
It's like
Quadsexual.
Yeah, you know, oh my god.
Octosexual.
Autosexual. I'm just trying to recognize that like my attraction is limitless. Basically, like I like who I like. People, you cute, you cute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. My mom passed away when I was 11. So and like
I didn't know that.
people were also like, oh, like he didn't have a mom. Of course he's queer. I'm like, oh my god. Like don't even think. Don't even.
What
I
is
s-
that even? What kind of logic is that?
Yeah, it's like that thing where like people are like, oh, like don't hold hands because you're gonna make my children gay. And I'm like, well, I've been seeing straight people hold hands like my entire life, and like I'm still into men. Like,
Yeah.
fuck with me.
True.
Like, yeah, it's just a matter of like the lack of narrative and education within our society that really like limits us.
Yeah.
And it's like it saddens me because like there are people out here who hate themselves for who they are. Like we're talking about with Asian people.
Yeah.
Like I hated myself for being Asian.
Same.
I'm like, damn, I was unattractive, and I'm actually like, I think I'm pretty attractive. I mean, like, if you don't think I'm attractive, like the comment, like this video,
Yeah, if you think we're ugly fucks.
like this video.
There was this black guy who started a GoFundMe that was like, if you really hate me, give me money so you can ship me back to Africa.
Yo.
And people give him money.
Okay, that kills me. Yo, just like go drop $1 in the GoFundMe here.
Right, you can
like in the
Venmo
comments
me at
below.
Ode to Venus. ODETOVENUS.
Oh yeah, spell it out.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Say
you
it,
want
spell it again.
to, if you want to send me back to China, Venmo me. So I was raised Buddhist, right?
Right.
Because my mom, I don't even know where to start. It's such a complicated story. So I lived with my mom. So I grew up with just my mom, but my dad was like, he would come visit and everything. It was a complicated situation. That would be another video. But we were raised Buddhist, or I was raised Buddhist because she was Buddhist, and then eventually my dad like converted us to Christianity.
Classic.
Yeah, I still haven't told them I'm not Christian. So it was weird because one day we were Buddhists and we were just like loving life, going with the flow, and then the next day we were sinners and we had to repent. And that also added to the self-hate thing because
Oh,
now
goodness.
not only was it we were sinners and we had to repent to this white God who isn't even white.
Who's not white? Yeah, Mike White.
So there's that, and then it was also that programming of like your culture is wrong because it wasn't just a religion; it was our way of being. You know, it was,
thinking like
Yeah.
you know, like different societies like grow through religion. Like even if
Exactly.
we say like, oh, separation of church and state, like no, like a lot of our
separation
laws.
where? Show me.
Show me, like yeah,
Where?
like there's like so many
These
like
billionaire pastors.
yeah. Oh hello, daddy though. Like this country is definitely made from Protestantism. Is that right?
I don't even know.
It's Christianity of some
Yeah.
sort. Like they say like separation, but like obviously like people are like, oh, like we can't have like queer marriage, we can't have same-sex marriage because of religion, like it's against God and shit. And I'm like, okay, so then that's where you're starting to blend the lines.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry,
Also,
I
so far
digress.
for love thy neighbor too. You know, like
Love thy neighbor.
unless they're
So-
gay, unless they're black.
Unless,
you're-
tell.
Granted, disclaimer: there are really, really good Christian people out there. Like
Yeah, of
I met
course.
some dope ass Christian people who are like, I totally respect
Right.
what they're doing. I totally respect their beliefs. We're just not on the same wavelength. But
Right.
it's just like
Exactly.
they're good people.
Right.
And then there's really not good people.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
extremely not good people. And those are the people
Exactly.
we're shitting on. So good Christians, please don't hate me.
Like I 100% support faith. Like I'm not a faith. I don't have faith. I'm just. Yeah, I identify as atheist, but like I generally just feel like that comes from a place of like my mom dying when I was 11 and just being like, yeah, I don't have any like I don't understand like there's no God in this world. Like how can you take away the only person that really loved me? And I still really believe that. I don't actually still really believe
love
that.
you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's like she was just really the only person in my family that really like loved me.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone else didn't want her to have a kid, and I was that kid that she didn't have. She wasn't supposed to have.
What?
Yeah. So then I was treated like a black sheep, and
Yo, same.
I like just didn't like. They didn't like me, and I could tell. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be weird in my corner. So then that was like even more of a reinforcer that I personally am not liked.
Oh, yeah,
No,
when your
like-
family rejects you, that's rough.
Yeah. But that's why I was like, you know, like I'm queer. Like they can reject me all they want. They've done it my whole life.
There you go. I think that's where the real freedom comes in. When you
Yes.
just accept that people aren't gonna like you.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
True as fuck.
okay, don't like me then.
Okay, don't like me. Like I'm minding my own business. You cannot like me. I'll be over here. Like my business.
Right. And a lot of times, most times, when people don't like other people, it's because they don't like themselves. Like, you ever realize, like, people who only ever speak negatively about other people, it's because you don't have anything positive to say about yourself. Because you wouldn't be out here talking shit
Yeah.
if you're living your awesome life. Just talk about your awesome life. But no, you're out here saying, like, oh, these gay people, these... Yeah, I was one of those people that, like, got made fun of for bringing weird food to school.
Really?
And now everyone's obsessed with banh mi.
Yeah. Now everyone is obsessed with banh mi. Like suddenly.
Yeah, like,
Like-
okay then.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I went to a food truck the other day, and they were like, banh mi, Chinese chicken, and I was like, oh my god, no. Oh my god, I'm out. Where am I?
Triggered.
I was just thinking about how you were like, oh, I was that kid that brought all the weird food. Like I brought rice and jabam, and people will be like, I would be like, hey, you want to try this? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, oh, it's dog meat.
I love leaning into racism.
No, low key, very low
Because
key.
people think that they like one up you in the moment, like, oh, this Fucking Asian person, and then
Yeah.
you want to see how Asian I can
You
get,
wanna-
and they're like,
test
and it's just like, maybe you shouldn't have come with your bullshit.
Yeah.
I refuse to spend more than like $3 on banh mi.
Oh my god.
All these $12 gentrified shits out here.
Oh my god. So I want to go to Vietnam, but like I'm like 6 months deep into this relationship that I'm with my boyfriend, and it's just like we're getting really serious, and I'm just like, damn, like, would you move to Vietnam with me? He's an English teacher.
Okay.
He teaches English.
Well, then he's halfway there.
He's halfway there, but like I don't know if he wants to go to Vietnam. I just don't know if he personally wants to do that for his own journey.
That's fair.
You know, so I'm like,
Oh snap.
like,
Would you guys be open to long distance?
see, like that's another conversation, and that's like a big thing. Like, I've done long distance relationships like my whole life, except for him. Like, he's like the first.
What
Like,
a Sagittarius thing. But you know that saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it was yours. If it doesn't, it never was. Not to put a damper on this, oops.
but like, no, but it's true. It's true. I just like don't want to let go.
I feel you. It's really rare to find someone
Yeah.
that you connect with.
We connect super well. He's a Pisces. I'm
And
seeing him tonight. So, and hey, if you're watching this. Oh wow, what if he sees this like in the future and like and then he's like, oh well, that was the night we broke up.
yeah, it's really easy to get by on English, which I was really surprised about. Because this is my second time going to Vietnam. The first time I went was like 15 years ago, and it was different. And I was different. I was 11.
Yeah, you were.
I was a baby. I don't really like. I did not appreciate it at all. I like cried. I wanted to go home.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was that whole self-hate thing. I was like, I don't want to be here, man. And it was also because by that point I had already like lost my Vietnamese, so I couldn't speak to my family, and so they like looked at me like, and I had glasses and braces, and like healthcare wasn't developed back then.
Yeah.
So they were like, what's in your mouth? What's on your face? And I'm just like, oh, so they make fun of this stuff over here too. Okay, great.
Oh, great. I've never been to Vietnam. I can't wait to go. I really want to go.
Do it. Are you planning on going to visit before you move, or are you just gonna move?
I think I want to go all in.
All in? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just be like, you know what? I'm in another place. Like, if I could be in any other random place that I didn't know where I was gonna be at, it would be Vietnam. Like, mostly because I've been to most places already.
Where else have you been?
I've been to went to California a couple times, like across the coast too, like San Francisco, LA, San Diego. Hit those points. Wasn't in San Diego for long, but yeah, just wanted to just experience a lot. I would say I've also been to Peru, Canada a lot. I haven't been to Vancouver. I want to be there. I think that would be another place where I would want to.
You know what's
go
funny?
up to.
So for my birthday, I originally booked a flight to Vancouver because I've always wanted to go there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then my friends were going to go with me, and they like didn't go. And then I was like, that's fine, I'll just go by myself. But then my friend was like, hey, you should come to Vietnam. And I was like, changing my flight.
Oh, wow.
So Vietnam was a
That's
last
nice.
minute thing for me. I mean, a lot of things are a last minute thing for me. Vancouver's last
True,
minute too.
true.
But I was just like, it was the best last minute thing I've ever done.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was super dope. But it would be awesome if we like end up there at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, that'd be really cool.
And then we can
Be
do like
what's
a
up?
part two. Be like, so
Part two.
we're on
So-
the other side of the world. We made it. Oh, you know what else is really cool? People are more like spiritually inclined there, but not in like a contrived way. Like it's more like
It's like natural.
genuine. Yeah, it's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I brought my tarot cards because I bring them everywhere, except for today. But I brought my tarot cards, and then just like that, I got 3 clients. Because
Wow.
like I met people, and they were like, hey, my friend's interested, or like I want to do this and I want to do that, and I got like referred.
Wow.
And it was just like so easy and flowy, and it wasn't like, and the reading went really well, and I felt like I actually helped them. Hopefully, if you're watching, hi, thanks for the support. But yeah, it was like, it was dope because I felt like I could be spiritual without being judged in a way. Because like I was one of those people who like just talked astrology at people because I was like so passionate about it, and then eventually I was like, all right, they don't care, I'm gonna make my channel and just like talk about it here.
Yeah.
But there, it's like I can just like go off, and people are like, oh wow, that's so cool. I'm like, wait, you like this? It was really cool because it was just like, I don't know. that mindset of just like going with the flow and like accepting reality for what it is, but also accepting yourself for who you are.
Right, and just like having that kind of different culture, just like be embracing of you. Like I imagine that was really nice.
Like, where did this music come from? They
Oh,
probably
it's
got tired of us talking.
Yeah.
And finally, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Yeah, good luck, bro. I had to do it, so you gotta do it now too. Like, I'd probably give him a hug and tell him it'll be okay. I've been trying to tell myself to mind my own business just because I think so much about what other people think of me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, Tristan, just mind your own business. Like, that's not your business. Like, what other people think is not your business. Your business is to keep doing you and being better. Yeah. What would you tell yourself?
If I could tell my younger self one thing, I mean, if it could change the course of actions, I would be like, don't lose your Vietnamese.
Oh, true.
Don't lose your Vietnamese.
Don't lose your Vietnamese. Okay.
Ooh, actually, wait, I want to take back my answer. I would probably say, like, be more open to Asian people. Because I was not open to Asian people at all. And, like, I feel like I've missed out on a lot of, like, opportunities and friendships because I was just so actively like, no, like, I don't want you in my life, or I don't want this, that, the other. But, yeah, be more open to Asian people.
Word. Thank you for that answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Tristan,
Yeah, thank you, Michelle.
for coming on to my podcast, or whatever this is.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I love having these conversations.
Me too.
It's been like a year since we talked, like last saw each other in person.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Tristan and I met at a dance audition.
Yeah, we did.
And we both didn't make the team.
We both didn't make the team.
Do you want to plug yourself? If you want people to follow you on social media at all?
No,
I don't have that many followers, so you won't get that much clout.
I'm Tristan Tran. At Instagram, my Instagram is at Tristan Tran, TRISTIN _.
I'll put in the link below too. And then my name's Michelle. Obviously, if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe to this channel, and then follow me on Instagram at OToVenus. I'll put that down below as well. Yeah, if you're Asian or a POC or anyone who's different and weird and you enjoyed this, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.